So I think that all of that is really great. I think what is missed is that you need to be in your tool and actually know your data, because Talkwalker and Hootsuite and all these different wonderful tools out there, they're not there to put it on a silver platter and deliver it to you, right? What they're doing is they're giving you everything that you need to then go pan for that gold, right? So here's the pan, the gold is in here, it's up to you to find it. So you got your surface level stuff that helps, some of those basic success metrics, if you were, and even signals for things that are changing, positive or negative for your brand or your competitors if you're doing competitive analysis. But when I was working, I was consulting for a company called Boston Scientific recently, and they're a med tech company. And one of the things that I had noticed is I had done some work on identifying young onset patients with Parkinson's, so YOPD influencers in social. So it was a little difficult to identify them for a lot of different reasons I won't bore this audience with. But once that I found them and I built out this query in a dashboard, and you got all the numbers. Okay, about 33% of the time they talk about YOPD. Okay, that's great. But what is it that they're really talking about? What really is at the crux of it? And what I came to find out is spending days like looking in the tool, watching the engagement between this ecosystem that I've now built out in the platform. And I'm like, wow, a lot of these people are talking to each other. It's not just that they're influential in YOPD, but they're influential amongst each other as well, and a support system. So that was an insight that a platform cannot say, hey, Kathleen, guess what? This is a really supportive community. It's not going to tell you that. It isn't going to also tell me that what I started to see was that there were a lot of women who were suffering from YOPD and had major concerns about pregnancy, being able to take care of their children who were young, and or another phase is menopause, right? So where are the studies? What are the things that are for YOPD patients who are women who are going through these different parts of their physical lives? And it was a huge gap. And so again, the platform didn't tell me that. That was me spending time. I felt like these were my friends. Like I didn't even know that, but like I said, and as a result, I was able to then refine my query. I was able to build out these filters, and then I was able to then build out kind of an overview beyond what the team asked for, which is, this isn't just the stats. This is the real deal. Let me tell you about what it's like for these women who are suffering with YOPD while they're trying to conceive or they're going through a change. And here is what they're trying to do on their own, because nobody else is out here. This is an opportunity for content. This is an opportunity for outreach. This is an opportunity to showcase testimonials of women who are already going through YOPD and using Boston Scientific products and therapies. So to me, that is like a really great example of the tool does, let's say, 50% of the work. The rest of the work is really on those methodologies. And to me, it's really black and white. You go in and you just touch that data. You dig, you listen, you pay attention. You just don't look at it one day and then never look at it again. You come back, you get to know the data. Because now I could say like, oh, when I'm looking at a community of cardiologists and physicians who are influencers, I said, oh, Dr. Khalil has been talking a lot more lately. I've noticed that. And as a matter of fact, Dr. Khalil is talking about this particular topic, and that is a competitor brand. Interesting, right? The platform's not going to tell me that. I can extract that from the platform because I was paying attention, because I just got down and dirty with the data. Let's just put it. and so it's not some secret sauce. It is that I think that people aren't necessarily being trained to use social intelligence tools outside of the surface level. And B, even if they have that ability, they don't have the time, right? Because everything is so fast and you're getting asked all these questions and everybody wants to send them in, blah, 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 volume and whatever. And so I'm not saying that it isn't hard to do, but it is. And if you can take the time, and you become, weirdly, I'm not saying I'm a YOPD expert, but I know a whole lot more about what it's like in the community. And then what I also started to notice is that this is a community that loves TikTok because they show videos of their experiences when they're going through tremors. Ooh, Who knew, right? Like, even though I found these influencers through Twitter, the reality is that a lot of what they share on Twitter also is on TikTok, and that's where the community's at. Those are the things the tool didn't tell me, but those are the things that I can tell the business.
Yeah, that's amazing. Um, you ended up answering another question in that, so thank you for that. Because that is definitely a real world example of how you were able to kind of provide some impact. And I think, like I said, there's a lot of people that could champion the idea of social intelligence in, and they just don't know how to get to it. And one of the things heard you say, or want to kind of reiterate, is it's like going to the gym every day. It's like building up any type of habit, right?
Yeah,
And this is a great habit to build up. And I think some other things that you can think about as well is data storytelling and how to tell the story of the data the proper way. This is something that I had to start picking up myself as a business owner in this space that wasn't traditionally trained to be like a data analyst or data storyteller. But there's a great book that I picked up. It's called Effective Data Storytelling by Brent Dykes, and it really breaks down some of the elements of kind of delivering that message. So maybe it could be how you tell the story of the data. Maybe it could be, like you said, having that practice or being able to kind of come up with those habits of going into the tool, looking for this, looking for that. Maybe there's some other, ways that you can leverage some of the generative AI tools now to help you do desk research and things like that. But making yourselves useful and not dying, not letting your idea die or just stay siloed within your department, I think is the best advice that I pull for what you're saying. And really, like you said, know your numbers and know your stuff because again, once you can provide that insight, it becomes valuable. Then leadership, your bosses, those people start to depend on that information coming from
yeah,
you. And now you can get budget, you can get bandwidth, you can get what you need to kind of pull these things off. Because as you mentioned, Kathleen, these things can take a long time, right? Even when you
yeah.
have great tools, you can spend some time doing it. So I love that.